What if I told you there's a classic VW camper so rare, you're more likely to bump into Elvis at a truck stop than see one on the road today? Well, buckle up. Ladies and gentlemen, gather around, because today I'm bringing you a time machine on wheels, the 1974 Volkswagen Type 2 PaCoMobil Camper. Now, I've driven a lot of vehicles in my life, but this one? I believe it's like if a road trip and a vintage apartment in Mexico City had a love child. Only about 50 of these beauties were made by the PaCoMobil company, and rumor has it, only 6 have survived. That's rarer than my neighbor Frank's hairline after his experimental camping stove accident. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next time I test drive something that could either change your life or at least make you laugh while I stall it on a hill. Now, let's talk numbers, because I know my fellow gearheads love the details. Under that iconic two-tone blue and white body sits a 1.6-liter air-cooled flat-4 engine paired with a 4-speed manual gearbox. It puts out a modest 50 horsepower, or as I call it, enough to beat a cyclist if they're going uphill and carrying groceries. This one's clocked just over 91,000 kilometers, about 57,000 miles, and recently completed a 900-mile, 1,448-kilometer run from Michoacán, Mexico to Austin, Texas without bursting into flames, which, given the era, is a performance stat in itself. She rides on white-painted 14-inch steel wheels wrapped in 195/70 Michelin Agilis tires. And there's a full-size spare mounted to the front with a Panther radial, perfect for when your Audi Dave accidentally drives it over a cactus. Suspension and brakes? Recently serviced. Price? These PaCoMobil survivors can command anywhere from $38,000 to €35,000, depending on condition. And given this one's history, I think it's worth every cent for the right collector. Inside, you've got beige upholstery, a missing glove box panel, because, let's face it, mystery adds charm, and a monitor for a backup camera, a feature the original designers probably thought was witchcraft. Step into the camper section and you're greeted with laminate flooring, U-shaped seating, a center table, a Hisense fridge, a tiled backsplash, a sink, and even a chandelier. That's right, a chandelier, because nothing says off-grid camping like crystal accents swaying while you dodge potholes. There's also a lavatory, a wine rack, and storage galore. The cooktop is missing, which I like the most because it removes the temptation for my friend to try experimental chili indoors again. The sleeping area above the cab is unfinished, which means you can either complete it or use it as a secret storage zone for snacks you don't want to share. I think the originality and personality in this van make it one of the most charming classics I've ever covered. So if you're after a piece of rolling history that blends vintage style with absurd charm, the PaCoMobil Camper might just be your ticket. Sold by Usmotoreum to sarahg for USD $25,500. September 25, 2020.